These assaults started reoccurring because these people are coming out with sexual abuse issues finally, and they're finally doing something about it. And unfortunately, they're not going to use our case against us. And that's the twist on these cases, and that's exactly right. You're exactly right. That is the problem that these girls had. And this has happened in North Carolina. Do you know that some of the victims told us they couldn't get help in Archdale, North Carolina, and Alamance County? They started assaulting innocent families this way. So what we're going to tell you about is how important this case is. Most of those kids were running a fever, had dental issues and medical care that was it was a necessity to get the help. We arrived in Burlington, North Carolina, right as this assault was starting to begin. And what I'm going to tell you is that when we talk to the victims and we talk to other victims of sexual assault and child abuse, what you're going to hear is the same story. The girls didn't have medical care, and some of their family members needed medical care, and they didn't even get to the dentist appointment to begin with. Most of their doctor's appointments, we did not attend, even the court hearing, because we weren't feeling good. The whole time we were running a fever, and we were just recovering from assault injuries. So let me tell you guys, this is some of the issues that was going on at the time. And this is what's still going to go on, because these people were trying to file a case against us and twist the story around. When we went and we had not only a crime assistance, but we were also applying for assistance, additional assistance, and we did get assistance. Now, as far as cooperation goes, there was very little cooperation from these organizations. Let me just start there. Let's get honest. A lot of these people were not concerned about the other victims. They left us out in -5 temperatures. I was running a fever the whole time. And there are other family and victims who are going to come out, and we are going to go to court in North Carolina. Because what these people were doing is they were leaving us on the highway. We had sexual abuse injuries. We had assault injuries. We were out in the sun too long. The kids were crying the whole time. And I can tell you, looking at some of the things, we ended up in Conover, North Carolina. Some of these items here, these are collected. And I want to tell you, all of you who are doing the right thing, who are trying to help other people, doing the right thing is under the Good Samaritan law. You're protected for. Under the Good Samaritan law, when you reach out and contact the right people at the right time, most of our family members didn't even have as much as medical care, basic needs. So throwing away their belongings was one of the concerns I had, because that might be important to the case. And when these items are sent to the storage unit, it needs to stay in the storage unit. Let me say, there was items stolen, and all our reports go back from Branson, Missouri to here. This whole region has been impacted. Not a lot of people stand up and do the right thing. So when somebody stands up and does the right thing and they report the truth, that we're going to get somewhere. Now, as far as missing persons cases, assault cases, a lot of people, whether they're online or not, unfriending or not, the bullying issue is the problem. The bottom line is most of these kids run away from home because something's going on. And there were sexual assault injuries and injuries that were related to assault. So please make sure they didn't have their vitamins, they didn't have their allergy medicine, and they certainly didn't have their Bible with them. So go into camp. When you guys get to camp or you try to get in contact, if there's any injuries associated with rings, clothes, any items. These girls were all attacking us in junior high. That's why we relocated our case back to Butler County. And these girls didn't really help anyone's family. Most of those girls are talking about a whole lot of nothing. Most of these girls need to go, and they got to go forward with their case. If those women ever falsely accuse anybody, please make sure that you have everything in documentation, because we have sexual assault injuries and injuries. This happened in the locker room at our junior high school. A lot of these girls don't help other girls out. And this is what was going on at the women's shelter. And a lot of these women were attacking us in the shelter. And a lot of these women were assaulting other girls. And meanwhile, most of those girls were supposed to be in the shelter for their own safety. The Voice Women's Shelter, one of the concerns I am addressing with representatives is when they start assaulting other victims inside the shelter, there are bigger problems than just victims' crime assistance. These women and these individuals were assaulting other women and their children in a women's shelter, whether it be here or in North Carolina. This attack is over. The attacking our family is over. Assaulting our family and sexually assaulting my family, it is over. Every one of the people that were responsible for assaulting my family while we were in foster care have bigger issues than just what's going on. And we could see through the whole big mess. The whole time we were involved in trying to get recovery and help. And every assault does matter. I'm living with assault injuries over this. I have been raped over this, so I have a right to speak out. And I am angry and I am pissed at the abuse we endured. There is no reason to ever assault me and my family that way.